Claire. Welcome everybody. Hi, Char. Just allowing the sound to draw people in. Hi, Brittany. So, welcome everybody. Full moon evening this evening. Hi, Pamela. Hi, Lisa. The energies are really powerful. I've no doubt that you've all been noticing. It's been a pretty powerful week with the eclipse. The solstice, and this supermoon, and this is the last supermoon of the year, and obviously the eclipse season has closed until we get to the end of the year. Hi, Jackie. Yeah, so we're into this full moon in Capricorn, and of course that means that the sun is in Cancer, has moved into Cancer, and this is called the strawberry moon, actually. Sometimes known as the mother moon, because it moon's in Cancer. The sun's in Cancer. But you know, this is a powerful point in our journey of the year, and it really feels that it's a transformative energy. This is a potent time. We've been through such intense build-up as we move through the eclipses and into the solstice energy. None of us really feel the same as we did just a few months back now. Everything is changing, and we're still obviously working our way through to see where the clarity is, where the journey is going to take us moving forward, because the world is in such flux. So what can we come back to? We have to come back to our tools. We have to come back to the technologies of light, the technologies of movement and of sound that will help us come back into centre and enable us to navigate a pathway through. Here in the UK, we have had really next to no warmth, and hence it's midsummer, and I'm all jumped up and scarf and so on, because it's been so chilly. You know, we've had no consistent run at any sunshine, and these are just the strangest of times, and huge fluctuations in the energy. I wonder whether you, like I, have found that there are some days when things feel really quite sort of steady and blissful, and there are other days when it feels like you've just dropped through a hole. It's you know, and then there's the journey to recalibrate. So what does Capricorn, I was thinking about this Capricorn Cancer piece, and Capricorn is sort of like the goat that climbs the mountain. So it's a very sort of out there sort of energy. And Cancer is the home. It's like coming back into the comfort of being at home in ourselves, or being at home in our homes. And there is a sort of a dance of integration that is going on between these two polarities. The calling to go out, if you like, and travel, but of course the restrictions on travel, so therefore it's about staying at home. Then there is the calling to go out, because a lot of us have been in lockdown for quite a long time, and then there's a calling to go out, but actually the world has changed, and where am I in relation to that? So this point of finding our pathway and finding the tools and the technologies of light that will enable us to keep this pathway of returning to centre. As I say, this feels like a really transformative energy that's with this full moon, and it can give us a real sense of inner growth, of inner spiritual maturity, shall we say, a different perspective, like we're looking at our lives and our journey through a different lens of perception. So it's just a potent time for us, and we need to focus on what uplifts us, what expands our energy, and be really mindful of what causes contraction, and either walk away from that or at least go within and find out what it is within self that creates the contraction, so that we move to a different place of mastery, how we are able to master our own energy without the need for that to be shown outside. You know, when we can come into ourselves and really own our own story, own our own journey, then we become very centered and very grounded. There is a foundational energy there that enables us to feel comfortable in drawing back into self, and knowing that all is well. So, Brittany, you felt this too. Yeah, 100% feel it. These are times unlike any other times on the earth plane, and the tools at our disposal are most important. One of the other things, the themes that sort of came up to me when I was pondering this moon, is the energy of joy. And those of you that may have been on the 21-day journey with me, I started doing a reading every day at the beginning of June for 21 days to the solstice. This was the last card that came up, and we started off with the Soul Star and the Earth Star, so really connecting in with that I am presence, that sense of our divine nature, and how we anchor that through the Earth Star, which holds our story for this incarnation, our frequency, our coding for this incarnation, and it connects into the earth grids and allows us to feel connected and aligned to the earth, particularly in the location that we are living. But it helps the energy fields to unpack. It helps us to feel grounded and at home in ourselves when we are in a resonance alignment with the frequency of the earth that we're residing on. So we started off with this template, and these two energies create a vesica. They create a vesica piscis of light around us, an envelope, an almond-shaped envelope. But the last one that came up was joy. And this, I feel, is part of the message for this particular moon, is to remind ourselves to find the places in which we can feel grounded and present. Do you spend enough time in nature? Is there any way that you could make time to stand barefoot on the grass? Is there any way that you can, you know, as I am, blessed with roses around me, that can remind me to come back to core, come back to centre, come back into what is at the core of the rose, which is the golden heart, the Rosa Mystica, this mystery of love, this mystery of life itself. And what can we do that enables us to come back to joy on a daily basis, regardless of what else is going on, regardless of what else we might have had in conversations or our experience on a day-to-day basis? What else brings you back into that place of appreciation and joy? Because this is what will allow our immune systems. Remember that Rose 3 sits on the spleen, connected to the filtration of the blood, connected to the immune system, connected to our way of bringing the solar prana into the body and being able to have that transduced and put out into the different chakras that are needing it for rebalancing. So all the ways in which we can bring ourselves into a reminder of joy that enables the energy fields to expand, because all day, every day, our energy fields expand and contract. Hi, Diana. This is all they do, all day, every day. And can we be mindful enough to help our energy fields stay in expansion? Or are there thought forms or situations that cause us contraction? If our energy fields stay in contraction for any length of time, we get sick. It isn't rocket science. So whatever we can do to find a mastery of our emotional realm and our mental realm, our thoughts, so that we can keep ourselves in a positive zone, this actually is what benefits our immune systems and our overall well-being for life. And when we are in that zone, of course, our heart, as the attractor factor, attracts everything that it is in resonance to. So let's see what the roses have got to offer us for this full moon in Capricorn, this super moon in Capricorn, with the moon in Capricorn, the sun in Cancer. What have the roses got to offer us as a wisdom pathway as we navigate through this energy? So the first rose that's come up is Rose Ma 11. And Rose Ma 11 says, I am protector. And I think it's really interesting that I've just been speaking about the immune system and joy and having time to connect in nature, because all of those things allow us to be working at our optimum frequency. When we are frequencing to love, when we are frequencing to joy, when we are in that field of golden presence, we have all the protection that we need. The roses said that when we can stay in the frequency of love 24/7, there is no sickness. There is nowhere in which the field can attract that kind of energy in. So this rose is a rose called Madame Hardy. She was developed by a rosarian called Alexander Hardy, who worked at the Luxembourg Gardens in Paris. And he created this rose and named it after his wife. For me, this rose has really strong swan energy. And swan mates for life. Swan is a fierce protector. We say, it's graceful and so on as a swan, but he is a fierce protector. And so this rose is saying, when we can stay in this field, in this energy, when we can be the rose, when we can be in this field for 24/7, there is nothing that can counter that. So this is our first rose tonight. So you may want to look at all the ways in which you can improve your immune system by staying in the zone of being positive, by having a high frequency food, of even just connecting with this rose and drawing her in. This is one of the ways in which the roses can really support us. When we just beam in and connect in with the rose and allow our energy field to be impacted by the grace, by that high frequency energy that the rose carries for us, and allows our field to expand. Let's see what the second rose is that wants to come to offer us insight this evening. So we've got Rose Angel 6, and she sits on the throat chakra. Beautiful, beautiful energy. And she's saying, remember to speak your truth. Remember that when we speak from the heart, it's received by the heart. When we connect in to our solar plexus, when we connect into our gut wisdom, and we hold a strong foundation of presence in ourselves and our self-worth, self-love and self-esteem, we rise into knowing what is true, that we trust our gut wisdom, and we rise and we speak. And we speak with loving presence. Always the tenet is first be kind. We can speak truth, but we can speak it on a wave of kindness. And this rose, she is, there's just this feather-like softness about her. She's a very beautiful energy. And let's see what our third rose is this evening. And we've got Rose Mars 6. And she says, I am transformer. This is the essence of who I am. I arise from my center, clear, strong, and I let go of what is past, what is outworn, full moon will bring us to a culmination of a story. It's like, no, we've got all the juice out of that. We have learned everything that we need to learn with this, and it is now time to just release that. And this rose really reveals to us that perhaps there is somewhere in your journey, in your day-to-day, where a pattern of behaviour, an attitude, perhaps a pattern of acquiescing, perhaps it's a pattern of negative thinking, whatever it is, what is calling to be released and transformed? What is calling for the gold and this inner wisdom to arise from the centre, from the heart? This is coming from the heart of the rose. What is it that's calling us to rebirth? What is it calling us to step into a new way of being? And it could be that you're just actually choosing joy. You're choosing to walk in that path of joy. What is it that is calling for you to release and transform? What is calling for you to be aware of needing to be speaking in truth? What is calling to be voiced? That is calling to be shared in the kindest way possible, but is calling for you to be not in the pattern of denial, not in the pattern of swallowing something down. What can be said with love and with absolute truth and alignment that is going to take something to a new level? What is going to transform through you speaking truth? And we have Rose Mar 11, who is calling us to hold the purity, hold the clarity, and hold the knowledge, I am protector. When we speak from the heart, it's received by the heart. And when we speak from love and from truth, there is no need for protection per se. And when we can stay in the field of loving presence 24/7, we cannot get sick. So there is a calling here to refine. What is calling for refinement? What is calling for you to make changes that would actually offer you a better level of protection of self? You could look at this in several different ways, but they each hold a different aspect of the story. Of course, when we speak of truth, it lets go of the old pattern and brings us into the core, into the heart of who we are. When we stay in the heart of who we are truly in the highest frequency of light that we can carry. And therefore we can step forward and perhaps be a protector of others. We can stand forward to protect others. So this is just a beautiful, beautiful combination of energies. But the keynote feels to me here, I am transformer. I release all that is now past, that I've got all of the juice out of. I've learned all the lessons that this particular piece has been showing me. And, I come into center. I come into this place of pure creation, pure new creation. So, I hope that has been inspirational for you as... Yep, that's it, Char. What's calling you to make changes to be better protector of self. And just to say that on this full moon, I have actually managed to get the first of the Rose classes live online on the portal. If you go onto the Rose Alchemy site and you go to the Rose classes, there's a link through to the new portal, and it is possible to sign up for Rose 1, and it's taken a while to get that all together. It's got archives in it and downloads. It's got the Rose Healing Grid from the Rose 1 set, which is this. It's a chakra grid, and there's just some lovely bits and pieces in there, and the archive is really lovely. Each of the roses has got their own little video, and there's a downloadable workbook, and there is the first chapter of the, I don't know whether you'd call it a manual, whatever you'd call it, it encompasses Rose 1 and the beautiful way that the roses are a path of light. Anyway, so here is the grandmother and apophyllite alchemy bowl. She works with the sacral chakra and she works with the adrenals. And so many of us have been so challenged by this last 15 months. All of us, I think, are traumatized in some way or another through this whole process. So our sacral and our adrenals need lots of love. But wishing you grace and ease on your journey. And as I say, it's time to activate all our tools that bring us back into centre on a daily basis. What are the reminders that call us back home so that we don't get too caught on the wheel of life? We come back to the hub of the wheel, which is our higher heart chakras. thank you for joining me, and thank you for being open to the wisdom of the roses. And with much love and rosy blessings from the Rosy Temple. Bye-bye.